This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your SUNCOAST News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us today. Topping our news today at noon, Manatee County Sheriff's deputies need your help finding a man accused of stabbing another man. Deputies say the victim and his girlfriend stopped at a taco stand along 15th Street East in Bradenton. Investigators say two men approached the couple, one of whom began arguing with the victim. The second man then intervened, stabbing the victim. The men took off and the victim was taken to the hospital for treatment. If you have any information on this case, call Manatee County Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies also looking for the man who robbed an auto parts store. It happened last night at Advanced Auto Parts in East Bradenton. Deputies say a man armed with a gun took cash and even stole a store vehicle. That stolen car was later found about 4 miles away, but the robber is still at large. A manhunt continues in North Florida for 3 escaped inmates. Joel Cooper, Donald Cotterman, and Casey Martina broke out of the Wakulla County Jail on Friday. Deputies say the inmates got out through the ceiling in the jail's library on Friday morning. They were serving sentences for burglary and other crimes. Deputies say they've received a number of tips so far, and they believe the trio are no longer in the county. Well, today is Trans Day of Remembrance, which comes after a shockingly violent year. The Human Rights Campaign reports 2017 has been the deadliest year for transgender people in the United States. 25 trans men and women have been murdered since the beginning of the year. 80% of those killed were women, 84% were of color. Local LGBTQ rights group Also Youth says there have not been any reported killings of transgender people on the SUNCOAST, but they expect some cases do go undocumented.
We know there are a lot of murders that go unreported and a lot of other acts of violence that go unreported.
Also Youth will host a candlelight vigil tonight at 6 to honor the 25 trans men and women murdered this year. The group will light 1 extra candle to honor any victims of unreported murders. And a transgender member of the Manatee County community spoke this morning to ABC 7 about some of the challenges they endure on a daily basis. Our Ray Collins is back with more. Ray?
Scott, Mason Fitzpatrick became Mason about 2 years ago, and he says it has not been entirely easy. Here is a split screen of Mason before 2015 and how he looks now. Mason says he suffered from gender identity issues and just began counseling 3 years ago. And he says, even if you don't understand, he says he and others still at least deserve respect.
I was born a female, but I never identified as being a female, and it took me to medically transition to male for me to fit within my skin, to fit within my soul, and to be happy with who I am. You know, I'm still not any different than anyone else.
Mason says the biggest issue is making this part of an everyday conversation, making it okay. He says the good news is he feels that progress is being made. Scott?
All right, Ray, thank you so much. Let's get a check on our Monday weather now with meteorologist John Scalzi. And a little chilly this morning here.
On the cool side.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10 degrees below the average for this time of year.
Yeah.
So, you know, you wouldn't have thought it when that front came through, though, because it was so benign, you know. Right. A little bit of drizzle, that's about it. No real gusty winds, no storms. But boy, it sure did the trick this morning. The chillier air also brought us some sunshine skies this morning, that's for sure. As the sun rose, it was deep blue all the way around. As we head into the afternoon, we'll see a few fair weather clouds begin to build. Some of those fair weather clouds will be, well, all of them actually, will be coming in from the other coast as our winds begin to shift more to an easterly direction and surface moisture also begins to increase. So a very pretty picture there on the Van Wezel webcam. Local temperatures still running a little below average for this time of year, at this time of day, but nevertheless, not too bad. 72 degrees in Venice and Inglewood, 74 Sarasota, Bradenton coming in at 71, 69 degrees Longboat Key, and inland temperatures just about the same, a little warmer, 73 degrees in Wauchula, Myakka, and 74 in Arcadia. Not much in the way of any kind of large-scale systems headed our way today. But tomorrow, it's a different story. As quickly as we cooled off, and compared to 24 hours ago, we're running anywhere between 4 and 8 degrees cooler at the present time. As quickly as we cooled off, we will also tomorrow begin to factor in chances of rainfall just as quickly. In fact, the rainfall chances over the course of the next several days, they're going to be pretty good at times. We'll talk about that, take a look at the afternoon in just a few minutes. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Now to the latest on allegations against U.S. Senate candidate Roy Moore of Alabama. Another accuser is facing the camera, saying as a 14-year-old, she, quote, didn't deserve to have a 32-year-old man prey upon her. Well, Moore continues to deny all charges of sexual misconduct, while the White House is increasingly under pressure to weigh in. ABC's Lana Zach has the latest from Washington.
For the first time, we are hearing the voice of the woman who says she was just 14 when Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore, then an assistant DA, allegedly sexually assaulted her.
I was a 14-year-old child trying to play in an adult's world, and he was 32 years old.
Lee Korfman told the Today Show that Moore took her to his home and seduced her.
He removed my clothing. He left the room and came back in wearing his white underwear. And he touched me over my clothing, what was left of it. And he tried to get me to touch him as well.
Roy Moore has repeatedly denied the allegations of Korfman and at least 6 other women who say he had inappropriate contact with them, mostly as teenagers while he was in his 30s.
They're not only untrue, but they have no evidence to support them.
Roy Moore denies these allegations and further says he does not even know you.
I wonder how many me's he doesn't know.
Korfman says she's consistently a Republican voter who was never paid to tell her story. She didn't come forward previously because she was worried about her children, but some friends have corroborated that she told them years ago. For his part, President Trump has not weighed in, but his budget director told Meet the Press that the president is leaving it to the voters of Alabama to decide.
He doesn't know who to believe. I think a lot of folks don't.
But Moore's support has not really eroded among evangelical pastors. Several told the Globe that they would continue to support him even if the charges were proven true. But over the weekend, Alabama's top 3 newspapers urged voters to reject Moore. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with a check of the day on Wall Street so far. And so far, nothing but up arrows on Wall Street. Richard?
You're exactly right, Scott, and we'll take it. It's liable to be a very quiet week. Obviously, Thursday we're closed for Thanksgiving, and on Friday the market closes early at 1 p.m. But that being said, we are off to the races. The Dow up 87 points at the minute, up 97 points at the high of the day. A lot of it having to do with expectations of tax reform. Will we get it? Will we not? Well, we'll see. But we got so far, as Scott said, up arrows across the board. Let's take a look at the numbers as they stand right now. There you see the Dow up 85 points, more than 1/3 of 1%, at 23,443.45. That on light volume of 308 million shares. The NASDAQ up 4 points, only 5/100ths of 1%, 6,787.14. That on also light volume of 587 million shares. So if those two are up, so is the S&P by 1/10 of 1%, not quite 3 points at 2,581.73. Well, things are getting better for Verizon, and believe me, they haven't been too good. Shares of Verizon down 15% this year, and it is part of the Dow. That while the S&P 500 is up by 15%. But today, Wells Fargo, the investment division of Wells Fargo, came out and said they are upgrading the stock to market outperform. They believe the revenues are going up while their costs are going down. That's certainly a pretty darn good recipe, and shares of Verizon, as I say, have been struggling, but up just over 1% today. So good things to see a turnaround, even though it's kind of late in the year to get that started, Scott.
And we'll see you again at 5.
I'll be here.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, heroin's tiniest victims. A look at the rising number of mothers passing down addiction to opioids to their babies. And new research about running and how it affects your back. Why doctors believe a little cardio can do your back some good.
ABC 7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. we agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today. Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Auto Trader recently said Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds. A segment best. You deserve the best. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we woke up this morning with a temperature of 50 degrees, which is almost 10 degrees cooler than normal for this time of year, but we're heating nicely now at 74 degrees. We have plenty of full sunshine out there. Dew point value is still low at 54, so dry air is still in place, not only at the surface, but aloft as well. And so we have a lot of blue skies, and we have very little chance of rainfall. And tomorrow morning, very little chance of fog, despite the fact that it's cool, because those dew point values are still pretty low. But that is going to change, and here's why. The winds, which this morning were out of the northeast, are now east. Still kind of breezy, but that east wind will be key to kind of bringing in a little bit more moisture with time. And that'll keep our nighttime lows just a little bit warmer as well over the next several days. It's one of the ingredients that will help provide us with rainfall chances each day over the next 5 days. 74 degrees, Wauchula, 77 in Arcadia, Mayaca, you've got 76 degrees there. Parrish, you're coming in at 73. Bradenton's coming in at 73. And by the way, around the Parrish area this morning, we had some temperatures of in the 40s this morning, so some pretty chilly temperatures there as well. Northport coming in at 78 right now, 76 degrees in Venice, Boca Grande at 74, and as I mentioned, Sarasota at 74 as well. If you look at the dew point values, this is where you get a really good sense of where the dry air is at the surface and where it is not. The dry air will be those dew point values that are coming in the 30s and 40s, and that's what you have in the panhandle in the northern border. The dew points in the 50s and 60s start to get a little bit more moist, start to get a little bit comfortable, and then those dew points that are in the upper 60s to near 70, that's moist air. And clearly the dry air is north and the moist air is south. So with that easterly wind, we start to get a little bit more moisture coming in central Florida off the Atlantic waters. But if we could turn those winds to the south, we'd get a very fast return of surface moisture. And we'll be doing that. We'll be doing that over the next 24 hours, in fact. A couple of things will be going on in the next 24 hours. High pressure will start to scoot east. As it scoots east, we get that north wind that turns, as I mentioned, first east and then eventually to the southeast. We also get the frontal boundary that came through yesterday and brought us that drier air and is stalled out, starting to lift back north as a warm front on its tail. That warm front lifting north, combined with a little bit of upper level energy that'll be swinging through the state, will help produce showers and thunderstorms that'll move off to the north and to the east. So for today, it's going to be a nice day, low relative humidity. Rain chances are going to return tomorrow, and then we'll watch those rain chances right straight on through Thanksgiving. And in fact, Thanksgiving seems to be a pretty good rain chance day right now. I'll show you why in a second. Winds out of the east, switching a little bit more even to the south as we head into tomorrow. as that warm front lifts north. That moistens everything up, and then we start to get that enhanced rainfall chance as those winds turn south because of that little bit of upper level energy beginning to enhance the rainfall chances and then lift off to the north and to the east. Well, that's upper level packet of energy number one. The second one out in the central Gulf by Wednesday will be arriving on our doorstep for Thanksgiving Day. So it looks like Thanksgiving Day is going to have a reasonably good chance of seeing scattered showers and maybe even thunderstorms around the area. So if you're planning outdoor dining, bear that in mind. East wind coming in at about 10 to 15 this afternoon. And as we head into the next 7 days, 60% chance of showers tomorrow, 60% chance on Thursday, with Wednesday and Friday both having reasonable chances as well, but just not quite as high. Everything's out of here, though, by the weekend, and the weekend looks pretty good. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Florida's opioid epidemic has claimed countless victims right here on the Suncoast. But tonight, we take a closer look at the most innocent of them all. A growing number of babies in our area are being born with addictions cultivated by drug use during pregnancy. Infants will start experiencing withdrawals that can include screaming, shaking, and other discomforts. It requires constant attention from nurses and hospital volunteers. The condition, known as neonatal abstinence syndrome, has increased fivefold over the last decade here in Florida. And both Manatee and Sarasota counties are among the highest NAS birth rates in the state.
It's a very challenging situation in our unit because these are not always babies that come and go very quickly.
Pregnant women are unique in that you can really change their lives because they're motivated.
Tonight at 6, a local mother describes passing down addiction to her baby and the long road to regaining custody. There's good news for people planning to run a turkey trot this week. Running is a great way to improve cardiovascular fitness and lose weight, we know that, but some people worry that pounding the pavement will take a toll on their back. Well, now a recent study suggests otherwise. Researchers looked at a group of 79 adult men and women, 2/3 of which were runners for at least 5 years. The rest of the people rarely exercised, and they found that in general, runners had slightly healthier discs in their back than people who did not exercise. Doctors say the research supports the notion that running may benefit the back.
We all know running has many benefits. It decreases stress, it increases cardiac health, it decreases weight, it helps your mind and mood. So those things are going to be very helpful. So that'll allow you to tolerate your running injuries if you get any, or even back issues if you get any. You can tolerate those better.
Dr. Thomas says the important thing to remember is that it's good to run or at least walk because sitting for an excessive period of time does the most damage to the back and the spine. Well, your dog could literally be saving your life, according to a new study in a Swedish publication. Dog ownership is associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular disease and death. The biggest beneficiaries are single people. Their overall risk of death dropped 33% if they owned a dog. People who live with others also saw FIDO-related benefits, though, but not as high as singles. And their risk of death was 11% lower than non-dog owners. The study found owners of hunting breeds like terriers, retrievers, and scent hounds got the most benefit, but the study's author said that owning any type of dog was enough to reduce an owner risk of death. Another good reason to own a dog. Let's get over to the kitchen now and check in for the first time with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. She continues to get us ready for Thursday. Judy?
And Scott, I can tell you, our dogs at home are excited because all the prep, and when anything drops on the floor, they're there. They're doing the carrots and celery. So today I'm going to make a cauliflower stuffing. This is just perfect for people that are gluten-free or ketogenic diet, and it's really trendy. Last week you saw the brioche stuffed pudding, and remember, all of these recipes are on mysuncoast.com. So today we're going to do a really flavorful vegetable stuffing. Now you can always add something like Ezekiel bread, gluten-free, certain types that are missing certain grains that people can't have as well. But this works deliciously. I'm also going to give you the 2-minute recipe for homemade cranberry sauce so you don't have to buy the can and have the wobbly sauce. We are counting down to Thanksgiving. We will get started on the cauliflower stuffing. The carrots are sauteing, and we'll come back in a few and really roll up our sleeves and cook.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free, and service AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
This holiday season, share the greatest gift of all, peace of mind. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback, for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the SUNCOAST largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $11,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the SUNCOAST.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $279 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's SUNCOAST since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Lee Middle School students have collected about $2,000 worth of food and supplies for hurricane relief efforts in both Puerto Rico and Big Pine Key in the Florida Keys. Today, one of the school's teachers is on his way to Big Pine Key with a truckload of non-perishable items to drop off. They've been fundraising since hurricanes came through, and the idea began locally because some of the students were affected by Irma. The 44 members of the Future Business Leaders of America are already prepping for their next big project. They're going to be collecting supplies to deliver to local homeless population for the holidays. Each year, the Bradenton Police Department looks to give back with its annual toy drive, and this year's drive is expected to be extra special. In recent years, officers have seen an increased number of children placed in foster care due to the ongoing opioid epidemic. It has gotten so bad that there is currently a waiting list to be placed into one of those foster homes. That's why officers decided this year they're giving the toys to the children impacted the most.
A lot of people have brought single items. We've had a couple people that have brought a carload full. So again, you know, we're running this for the next 2 weeks. We're just asking the community just to unwrap toys, all ages, you know, infant through, you know, teens, because again, our age range is infant through teen that are in the foster care system.
If you'd like to donate, you can drop off those toys at the Bradenton Police Department. Their main station is on 10th Street West in downtown Bradenton. The toy drive will run through December 10th, and then the kids will receive their toys on December 16th. Great effort there in Bradenton. Let's find out the effort going on now in our kitchen to get us ready for Thanksgiving Day. Here's more with Judy Gallagher. Judy?
That's right, Scott. So to start the vegetarian stuffing, I have sauteed chopped carrots, and now I have chopped fennel. And you know I use fennel a lot. I love it. The last thing we're going to put in the mushrooms, because they make it really juicy, which is great, but they don't need to cook that long. So the next thing we're going to take are some chopped onions, and we'll give that a stir for about a minute or so. Now, the key elements that you need to have moving forward on this week, if you're going to brine, get the brining bag now. You want to brine by tomorrow. Get a gallon of apple cider. You'll have your kosher salt, boil water, ice cubes, because Wednesday I'll show you that last minute dry rub again. Few changes with some molasses as well, and we'll be making gravy. So Poultry seasoning, really important around this time of year. I put a lot of poultry seasoning into my turkey soup. So this is one of the things, these vegetables left over are going to be fabulous for hash or turkey soup. So we've seasoned it with some poultry seasoning. Now we're going to take the Vicks garlic blend, which I really love from the Spice and Tea Exchange because it really gives it that hearty flavor with the herbs, okay? So we'll let this saute another minute, then we'll add the mushrooms. Let's come over to cranberries. So easy to make homemade cranberry sauce in a variety of ways. So I cook up 2 bags. Now, if there is a guest that insists on having the canned kind, I will have that. But it's so much better to do it this way. Shop your pantry. I have cranberries. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little aged balsamic vinegar in there. And I'm going to add some orange blossom honey to sweeten it. And I just find that goes so well. Now, often I'll make a separate cranberry sauce that has grated ginger in it. But I want to give you a couple other ideas. You'll probably be going to Yoder's this week to get your pies. You can stop in their market and get a jar of spiced peaches. Chop some of those up in the spiced peaches into your cranberry sauce. Really unique, and that spice is exactly what you want out of your cranberry sauce. A little different from using the mandarin oranges. Okay, we're gonna go back here. I'm gonna add the mushrooms, and when we come back, we'll add the cauliflower that's all chopped and riced and ready to go.
It's time to take a road trip.
If you love the beach, Alabama's Gulf Coast has 32 miles of sugar white sand and turquoise water. Looking for a room with a view? We have them. Beachside and bayside. There's incredible history. Whoa! And the seafood is fresh from the Gulf. Another round of shrimp for my friends. Alabama has a road trip with your name on it.
Which one you gonna take?
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The biggest shopping day of the year is here, and Sunset Fiat of Sarasota invites you to experience the ultimate LBD. Long, beautiful drive, of course, because no matter which model you try on, the Fiat 500, the 500X, the 500L, or the gorgeous Fiat Spider, you're going to love the way you look and feel in your new Fiat. Prices starting as low as $13,999 during the Black Friday sales event going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
Live from our studios on Florida's SUNCOAST, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your SUNCOAST News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. A serious crash this morning in the parking lot of the Osprey Walmart. Investigators say, excuse me, an elderly woman hit the gas pedal instead of the brake near the post office and drove through several bushes before hitting another vehicle and rolling over several times. Florida Highway Patrol is investigating that crash. 2 people were taken to the hospital with unknown injuries. The city of Sarasota is looking ahead decades, creating a plan to stop the effects of climate change. According to NOAA, in the best case scenario, sea level will only rise about a foot by the year 2100. But in the most extreme case, sea level could rise 10 feet. City's final draft of its climate adaptation plan will include the threats of storm surge, extreme rain, and extreme heat by the year 2050. Those factors will have a major impact on areas like Lido Key, Marina Jack, 10th Street Boat Ramp, to name a few within the city.
The city's going to rejigger its sewers, rejigger its drinking water supply, rejigger its transportation routes. It's going to be expecting sea level to be up on the streets.
City is also trying to become more sustainable by committing to 100% renewable energy by the year 2045 and is adding a living seawall along the shoreline at Bayfront Park. City of Northport closing a dog park tomorrow so it can be treated for ants. Canine Club Dog Park will reopen on Wednesday in time for the Thanksgiving holiday. Since opening in 2010, the dog park has become one of the city's most popular parks. The park is located just west of Northport, excuse me, Boulevard intersection. Happening today, if you want a free turkey, the Manatee YMCA has you covered. The Y will be handing out 700 free turkeys starting at 5:30 this evening at Harley Middle School. Students from a variety of SUNCOAST schools will be there to help those lucky families who can claim a turkey. This is the 9th year that the Y has given out free turkeys. Harley Middle is on 9th Street East in Bradenton. And if you don't have time to pick up a turkey today, families in need can do so tomorrow, courtesy of the All Face Food Bank. They'll have enough supplies to feed more than 26,000 people and will be handing out 6,500 turkeys. Families can also take home cranberry sauce, green beans, potatoes, gravy, stuffing, all the goodies to serve at their holiday dinner. Distribution will start tomorrow from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. at Roberts Arena in Sarasota. And don't forget to get local and breaking news delivered to your smartphone. You can download the latest updated version of our app. iPhone users need to go to the App Store, re-download the app to search for WWSB or My SUNCOAST. That current news app will be expiring at the end of this month. Now to get a check on our weather, here's meteorologist John Scalzi with a very chilly start to our day, but the sun is out and it's beautiful out there.
Catching a cold there, partner?
I just got something.
There's a lot of that going around.
No, I don't think I'm getting sick.
No, good. I hope not. Yeah, a lot of people are getting a cold right now, and I guess the cold weather doesn't help. I don't know. I guess they say it doesn't make much of a difference whether it's cold or not, except that people congregate indoors when it's cold. And I guess a lot of folks wanted to be indoors this morning under the covers and you know, in a warm spot because we were chilly out there. No doubt about it. Tomorrow will be warmer, though. Take heart, though. The Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows those blue skies out there. Really deep blue skies, but a few fair weather clouds now coming into the picture. We talked about that in the last half hour, how those fair weather clouds will be riding on a general easterly wind flow as the winds shift to the east and eventually shift more to the southeast. You'll see bigger clouds blooming, I think, as we head into tomorrow. In fact, we'll probably see a few thunderstorms begin to develop over the next 24 hours. Dry air in place over the state of Florida. That's what that tan colorization is that you see on the water vapor imagery. But look back to the west, just off the coast of Texas. There's a little glob of moisture there. That's a little upper level disturbance that'll be helping to enhance our rainfall chances tomorrow as we get a lot of sunshine, a little bit warmer temperatures, and certainly a lot more moisture around. Plus, the clouds that you see down in the southern part of the state, that's a frontal boundary that came through yesterday and dropped our temperatures by, well, right now in Sarasota, 5 degrees compared to this time yesterday, 6 degrees in Parrish. Well, that frontal boundary will be lifting north and bringing the rain showers that you see in the southern tip of the state along with it. So all in all, tomorrow, much better rain chance day than today when we stay dry with the daytime high near 77. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. America's most famous serial killer, Charles Manson, is dead. The 83-year-old dying of natural causes at a California hospital last night. Manson was notorious for ordering members of his so-called family to commit a string of murders back in the 1960s. In the summer of 1969, he ordered 4 of his followers to break into a home in Beverly Hills and kill everyone inside. The next day, Manson took his followers to another high-profile home. His trial and conviction awakening the country to the dangers of cult psychology.
I'm a convict. I'm an outlaw. I'm a rebel. I'm not a Sunday school teacher.
He was convicted of conspiracy and murder in 1971 and infamously went down in history. The jury found him and his cult family guilty and sentenced them to death, which would eventually be commuted to life in prison. Take a look at the dramatic moments before a small plane crash landed on a highway in Clearwater, came in low and fast Sunday morning, and a sheriff's deputy's dash cam capturing the crash landing and all. The pilot said he experienced engine trouble while in the air. He tried to make the emergency landing, but instead the plane's wing clipped a tree, causing it to spin out of control and crash. Fortunately, the pilot and his passengers were not hurt, and no one on the ground was hurt as well. A bizarre story out of Vero Beach. A drive-by shooting left one dead and innocent people in the crossfire. The shooter calling police himself to report what had happened.
Somebody just started firing shots out of their car, and I got a car full of bullet holes with my 3-year-old in it.
When our deputies got there, the subject who had done the shooting had actually pulled over into the parking lot nearby and was one of the people that called in. He called 911.
The victim was found dead in the road with the driver's side door to his car open and windows shattered. Police say the shooter was very cooperative in the investigation, claiming he shot in self-defense. Hours later, the shooter walked away without being charged. A pastor leads a protest to coincide with the kickoff event for Nights of Lights in St. Augustine. Their message? Take down the Confederate monuments in the city's main plaza. The annual lighting ceremony in the Plaza de la Constitución draws thousands of people every year. And over the weekend, hundreds were there to protest. Some of the people at the event found the protest uncomfortable and not appropriate timing, but others respected the non-violent protests.
They didn't want that to really happen, but we did it anyway because they kept saying it's not the right time. You know how they always say it's not the right time? Well, it was the right time.
I got irritated at first, and then I went and talked to the people over there. And I did want to go talk to the protesters, but I was held back by my husband, who has more of a sense of calmness about it.
City wants to add context to the monuments instead of taking them down, but this has left the city divided. For years, an American mother, her husband, and their 3 children were held captive by the Taliban in Afghanistan. Now they are free and sharing their incredible story of survival and the brutal treatment the family endured. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with the exclusive interview.
Even pizza nights at home are luxuries these children didn't realize they were missing until just a few weeks ago.
We can only ask and pray that somebody will recognize the atrocities these men carry out against us.
The children were born in captivity, held hostage with their parents by the Taliban after their American mother, Caitlin Boyle, and Canadian father, Joshua, were kidnapped 5 years ago while traveling in Afghanistan.
Some of the guards actually actively hated children.
According to the couple, the family, held in dungeon-like conditions on dirt floors, were rarely allowed outside. They also recall being tortured and beaten while trying to protect their children.
She had a broken cheekbone. She actually broke her own hand punching one of them. She broke her fingers, so she was very proud of that injury.
At one point, fearing they might be beheaded, the Boyles say they even made up a game about that, pretending to be British kings.
So that he wasn't afraid, because there was nothing we could do if it came to that except try to make him less afraid.
Caitlin also believes her defiance later led to what she calls a forced abortion. She believes the guards put something in her food, forcing a miscarriage of an unborn daughter. The Boyles were freed in mid-October in what's being called an operation carried out by the Pakistani troops, but the details about how it all happened remain unclear. The family, now living in Canada, will only say they're focusing on the future. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
In Tallahassee, Governor Rick Scott and state election officials want to spend more than $2 million in the coming year on cybersecurity, calling it a growing threat to Florida's election systems. The request was included in the budget recommendations Governor Scott gave to the Florida legislature last week. If approved, it would create a new cybersecurity unit and add funding to monitor security threats. The move comes after a classified report leaked in June suggesting hackers stole information from a voting systems vendor and used it to send phishing messages to local elections officials nationwide, including here in Florida. All right, Judy is very busy over in the kitchen there. Let's see how lunch is coming along. Judy, what are you doing?
Well, I'm excited because I'm doing a completely vegetarian stuffing, and what I love about it is there's no carbs. It's made with cauliflower. So you can buy frozen riced cauliflower at a place like Trader Joe's, or I use the fresh cauliflower and I just put it in my food processor, but I leave a few pieces that are larger chunks, and then you're just going to go ahead and put that into this mixture. That's the mushrooms, carrots, onions, celery, all sauteed, and fennel. Oh, I love it. Plenty of poultry seasoning, Vicks garlic seasoning or garlic salt, and then about a cup's worth of mushroom broth. You can get that over at the Fresh Market. So we're going to give this a toss. We're going to add some fresh thyme and a little bit of fresh sage. Now you're going to put this in a preheated oven at 350 degrees. Just until some of the moisture comes out of it. And again, it's really going to bake up like a stuffing. Oh, I just love this. So let me show you right here. Spread that down. Fantastic, right? So that goes in the oven. Now, the key, what I find on Thanksgiving, no matter how big the group or how small, I like to label things. So because I have a son that is gluten-free, I want to make sure that he doesn't dip into the other one. Wednesday, when we make gravy, we'll talk about some other sauces that you can make using your turkey drippings and turkey broth that isn't going to have the flour in it to thicken it. You can even use arrowroot. And look at our cranberry sauce. I opened up that jar of the Yoder spiced peaches. We cooked down the cranberry sauce with a little orange blossom honey, a pinch of sugar, and some aged balsamic vinegar. Sweet, tart, it's going to be a really great balance. And we have Thanksgiving ready. Don't forget to get your seedless red grapes. It's a wonderful garnish with the big bird. And I just buy several bags of cranberries and put them in these little shot glasses all around the buffet. Then you throw them in Ziploc bags in the freezer. You can make cranberry muffins in a few weeks. I'll be back for a final taste in just a moment.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 74-degree air temperature, lots of sunshine out there, a few fair weather clouds starting to come in, riding on a general easterly wind, which is still kind of breezy, coming in at about 13. Look for a dew point that's slowly rising. We're at 54 degrees now, still low, still dry, still comfortable, certainly, but still a little bit warmer than it was when we had that northeast wind and dew points in the 40s this morning. So we're starting to process of beginning to moisten up the atmosphere a little bit, certainly at lower levels, and that will eventually lead to better chances of rainfall tomorrow. 77 Wauchula, 78 Arcadia, Mayaca, 76, 74 Sarasota, 77 Venice, 74 in Bradenton. So across the nation, traveling today, well, it's not such a bad day in most locations. You got some lake effect snows right along the eastern Great Lakes, and that is creating some worries along some of the interstates there. But for the most part, it's a pretty quiet day in the Northeast, pretty benign weather. Deep South looks pretty good as well. The open plains are fine. Now you get into the Pacific Northwest, and that's a problem. There's going to be some heavy rainfall there, anywhere from Northern California all the way up to the topmost parts of Michigan into Canada. Washington State into Canada, because of that kind of atmospheric river of moisture that's continuing to flow into that region, an area of low pressure coming down from Alaska and beginning to create a bit of a problem there. Snow at higher elevations, Olympic and Cascade Mountain ranges. High pressure ridge providing us with a northeasterly wind flow. That northeasterly wind flow has now shifted a little bit more to the east and will continue to shift. We have a frontal boundary that came through over the weekend and provided us with the cooler temperatures this morning. That's now going to start lifting northward and help unsettle the atmosphere. That combined with a little upper level energy all teaming up together, the increased moisture, the frontal boundary lifting north, the upper level energy to produce a good chance of showers tomorrow. About a 60% chance of showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two as we head into the afternoon. Notice back to the west, this cluster of showers here. That's the next little bit of upper level energy that will be moving through here on Thanksgiving Day, enhancing our rainfall chances then as well. So today, low humidity, pretty nice day. Rain chances are returning tomorrow, and then those rain chances will be lingering right straight through the week with another good rain chance day on Thanksgiving Day. So bear that in mind if you're planning on feeding the masses out on the lanai or the patio. There could be a few issues there in the afternoon. Watch the Futurecast. We're going to put it into motion. A couple of things I want you to see. One is the fact that we start to get this surge of moisture coming up from the south starting tomorrow. Then watch for a developing area of low pressure. Watch this cluster of clouds move east and start to produce a pretty good amount of rainfall as it lifts off to the north and to the east. That's our system number one that comes through tomorrow. Then the next system, still back to the west, starts to develop and approach us on Wednesday, bringing us a pretty good chance of a Thursday shower as well. Now, it won't be an all-day rain out, but we could get a couple of periods of rain throughout the day on Thursday. And then on Friday, all of this starts to lift out. We start to clear out. And so far, the weekend looks like it'll be pretty good. Titan radar across the state, not showing any problems here. If you're traveling or expecting people in from other parts of the country, like I say, the Pacific Northwest is the only trouble spot today. East wind coming in about 10 to 15 knots in the official SUNCOAST forecast, or the first alert forecast, I should say, over the course of the next several days. 60% chance of rain tomorrow, then Thursday, a 60% chance then as well. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. The Manatee County Utilities Department rescinding a boil water notice that was issued last week. Bacterial samples were collected from the area, a very small area on Anna Maria Island, and they're now free of contamination, so the water is safe to drink. Trader Joe's recalling thousands of products due to the possibility there may be glass or silica fragments in the food. The recall affects ready-to-eat chicken and turkey salads from the California company Green Cuisine. It sells its products, though, under the Trader Joe's store brand. So far, there have been no reports of injury or illness from anyone eating these products. Honda is recalling about 800,000 Odyssey minivans due to issues with latching seats. The vehicle's second row seats can be adjusted side to side or removed. But Honda now says those seats can tip forward after braking if they're not properly latched down. The recall includes vehicles made between 2011 and 2017. Honda says 46 people have received minor injuries because of this issue. The company is now trying to educate owners on how to properly latch the seats until it comes up with a repair plan. The Labor Department says unemployment rates fell to record lows in 3 states last month: Alabama, Hawaii, and Texas. Biggest October gain in jobs, Florida, which added more than 125,000 jobs as it recovered nearly all of those jobs lost to Hurricane Irma. Nationwide, the jobless rate fell to 4% in October, which is a 17-year low. And despite some challenging times for department stores, Macy's has once again put up an amazing holiday display at its flagship store in New York City. This year's window theme is "The Perfect Gift Brings People Together." And among the window's themes, a Christmas tree is the centerpiece at home and a busy city with an ice skating rink. The window will be on display through January 1st if you're in New York City. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a famous sporting venue imploded this morning. Why they chose to tear it down when we come back.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
The biggest shopping day of the year is here, and Sunset Fiat of Sarasota invites you to experience the ultimate LBD. Long, beautiful drive, of course, because no matter which model you try on, the Fiat 500, the 500X, the 500L, or the gorgeous Fiat Spider, you're going to love the way you look and feel in your new Fiat. Prices starting as low as $13,999 during the Black Friday sales event going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Really good stuff, and I tell you, I love this. Now, even if it's not for Thanksgiving, any time of the year, this is a great little side dish.
It is a great side dish.
Or it could be a main course even.
You're
really.
right, and you could use it as a hash with poached eggs on top. It's going to be lots
great
of,
idea.
and I'm going to use the leftovers in my turkey soup. And John, I want to remind all our viewers, I will be here live for your Turkey 911. I'll be here from 6 to 7:30 a.m. You can email us and call us, and we'll get those last-minute tips on making lumpless gravy and how to carve your turkey. Chef Evan will be here with me as well, so we're really excited.
I guess one of the first tips is take it out of the freezer, right?
You better do that today. There's still plenty of birds around at Geyer's. They have the fresh Amish turkey. So, and don't stress. Get your list made. That's the key. And you can always order side dishes out. I've ordered 5 side dishes out, and I'm a chef. So there you go.
It's a good idea. You know, it's about the people, right?
It's
about the
all
people.
about the gathering.
Allow yourself time to socialize.
And the apple pie.
Look on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page. All the information will be there. And don't forget, Chef Judy, Thanksgiving Day starting at 6 a.m. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John and Judy, thank you. A famed Atlanta sporting venue comes tumbling down. An implosion took down the Georgia Dome this morning. And when the dust cleared, 2 sections of the dome's outside walls were still standing. The dome was home to the NFL's Atlanta Falcons for 25 years. It was the only facility in the world to host the Olympics, Super Bowl, and Final Four. Mercedes-Benz Stadium opened right next door to that dome just in time for this football season. Plans are underway now to replace the old dome with a hotel, parking, and some green space as well. Wasn't that old. It was only, like I said, 25 years old.
I know.
But,
it's always fascinating how they do that, I think. I mean, you don't even get rubble across the street. It's just incredible. Yeah.
Do not try that at home.
Yeah, please.
Have a great day ahead. We hope to see you again at 5 o'clock.